Don't feed Volibear. Volibear is a very durable melee range champion with moderate crowd control. Volibear's passive is Chosen of the Storm. When Volibear drops below 30% of his maximum health, he automatically heals 30% of his maximum health over 6 seconds. Unless a healing reduction is applied, Chosen of the Storm can be looked at as a straight additional 30% health. Though this ability scales in effectiveness off his health, it can be important for Volibear players to keep effective health in mind and understand that both armor and magic resist also improve his survivability in regards to this passive. When the heal occurs, a visible debuff appears that indicates a cooldown before the passive becomes available again. If Volibear dies, this debuff is cleared. However, even without the visible debuff, the cooldown still continues, and both Volibear and other players should be aware of this if he has recently died. Chosen of the Storm has a relatively long cooldown, though it is in line with many ultimate abilities and may be available for many or all team fights and skirmishes in the mid and late game. Volibear's Rolling Thunder causes Volibear's next normal melee attack to deal additional damage and fling the target behind where Volibear is currently facing. Additionally, Volibear will receive a very significant run speed bonus if moving towards an enemy champion. Volibear does not gain any movement speed when moving towards stealth champions or champions hiding in a bush. However, if a visible champion he is chasing runs into a bush, he does not immediately lose his run speed buff. When Volibear begins his fling, there is a brief window of time where the fling has been initiated, but a champion can still finish casting blink-like abilities. If this occurs, an enemy may blink away from Volibear, wasting the cooldown, but still be flung behind Volibear. For this reason, do not attempt to use blink abilities when Volibear is at or near melee range and Rolling Thunder is off cooldown. Instead, wait until you've been flung, then go in a better direction. Volibear can fling an opponent over a wall. The bonus damage from Rolling Thunder is effective on towers, though he cannot fling towers behind him. Because Rolling Thunder deals bonus damage and acts as a brief crowd control, using the ability on targets who are already in melee range and unable to escape can be effective. Activating Rolling Thunder does reset the swing timer, so he can immediately get 2 attacks in by using the ability. Volibear's Frenzy causes him to passively gain attack speed after every attack, with this bonus stacking up to 3 times. Frenzy stacks will build up while attacking structures. The attack speed bonus lasts only for a few seconds. Once it has been stacked, a red paw will appear above his head. While the red paw is visible, Volibear can activate Frenzy to deal physical damage to a nearby target, plus bonus damage equal to a significant percentage of his health, plus additional damage for every percentage of missing health his target has. In other words, this ability is an execute style ability that deals more damage based on his own health, and is even stronger on opponents who are at low health. Activating Frenzy does not consume its stacks, and he continues to retain the attack speed bonus. However, the activated component of the ability has a very long cooldown, and can only be used 1 to 2 times in most skirmishes. If Volibear is not in danger of immediate team fights or skirmishes, Frenzy can be very effectively used for killing higher health minions and monsters. Volibear's Majestic Roar deals magic damage and dramatically slows all nearby enemies for a few seconds. Additionally, minions and monsters are feared for the duration. Majestic Roar has a slightly longer range than either Rolling Thunder or Frenzy. For this reason, it can be useful to help get in range of a fleeing opponent to activate either of these abilities. If Volibear can definitely catch up to an opponent using the run speed bonus of Rolling Thunder, he may instead save Majestic Roar for immediately after the toss has occurred, to ensure that the enemy cannot flee. Majestic Roar is Volibear's only escape mechanism, as it is the only tool that he can rely on to get distance between an enemy and himself. It is a better tool for helping his allies escape an opposing team, though, as he can charge towards chasing enemies to apply the slow. Volibear is a strong disruptor because of the synergy between Rolling Thunder and Majestic Roar. The fear on minions helps reduce damage he takes while ganking or harassing in a lane. It is also very helpful for jungling, especially when combined with Frenzy. The fear on minions has one other quirk. It will fear clones, such as Shaco's hallucination, immediately distinguishing the real player. Volibear's Thunderclaw causes his normal melee attacks to shoot out chain lightning for 12 seconds. The first charge hits his attack target with bonus magic damage, and this then chains to 3 unique targets in succession, dealing magic damage. Thunderclaws can be very effective in skirmishes and teamfights because of the raw multi-target damage being dealt. Though Volibear cannot control the unique Chain Lightning hops, it appears to always prioritize nearby champions over minions, making it useful even in large groups of minions. Because Thunderclaws has a decent jump range, it can be used to kill enemies who've just gone out of range by simply activating the ability and attacking approaching minions or nearby enemy champions. Even in a 1v1 situation, the bonus damage from Thunderclaws makes it worth activating if the outcome of a fight is uncertain or the burst would be beneficial. Thunderclaws will not jump to stealth targets and targets hiding in a bush. While this ability does scale from ability power, it can be more cost-effective to acquire attack speed instead, as it can be more beneficial to sustain DPS. There are a number of things to keep in mind when countering Volibear. If Volibear gets to less than half health during the laning phase and you can safely harass him to burn his passive, this is usually worth the investment to prevent him from being overly aggressive. Alternatively, keeping him at this health while waiting for a gank, then bursting him before his full heal can occur is also effective, especially if he is banking on it to keep him alive and is overextended. During the laning phase, it can also be a good idea to harass him and keep pressure on him anytime he goes near minions, especially if you're ranged. This will discourage him from building frenzy stacks, preventing him from activating frenzy to last hit a minion or attack you or a melee lane partner. Don't be baited by a low health Volibear who hasn't burned his passive, especially if he has health items. Volibear cannot be effective unless he can reach his targets. While his Rolling Thunder speed boost does help him in many situations, it simply is not effective against high mobility champions, especially champions with blinks or significant speed boosts. He also has a serious problem chasing players with decent crowd controls or skill shot slows or snares. Volibear may purchase items such as Shirelia's Reverie to help with this, and his team may help him break in towards enemy champions. Volibear is still strong at peeling off players on a team who are not as mobile as their teammates, and this benefit alone can be very effective. For this reason, it is important to remember that you don't have to run faster than the bear, just faster than a less important teammate. Keep in mind that Volibear only has his Majestic Roar as an escape mechanism, and the max range on this ability is relatively limited. A range carry with Phage, Trinity Force, or Frozen Mallet can secure a kill on a fleeing Volibear relatively easily. Champions like Ezreal and Caitlyn can kite Volibear indefinitely with no risk to themselves if they're careful. In a 1v1 or teamfight where Volibear is a serious threat, pay attention to whether his passive is available and his health is low enough that it is about to go off, then use a healing reduction effect such as Grievous Wounds or Ignite. Additionally, bursting him immediately at 30% health before many healing ticks get off make him much easier to kill. Because of his mobility, strengths, and weaknesses, and his passive, Volibear is better suited to draft mode games than blind pick games. He is a very strong pick against champions he can consistently get in range of that don't have built-in healing reductions. And if you're counterpicking a Volibear, champions with blinks are your safest bet. The final thing to keep in mind with Volibear is his Frenzy ability. While he has strong AoE damage, his signature ability is this Execute, and it can be extremely dangerous if he has built any significant amount of health. If you are at low health, do everything you can to stay away from him for a few seconds until his red paw icon falls off. By doing so, you not only save yourself, but can potentially save other teammates since he will need to build stacks again. Thanks for watching this Don't Feed. While I don't cover gear, builds, runes, and masteries in this video, I often try to provide them in the movie description, along with any series updates. Simply click the movie information box to learn more. If you want to be alerted to every video I release, subscribe to my channel. Additionally, if you love this series, tell your friends about it and help promote it in your League of Legends communities. Ultimate bait.
Keep him interested. The thunder calls. Derp.